new song called Back in Your Face. And he's joining me right now. Thad Jackson is with me right now. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I'm just sitting here talking to you guys now.
Well,
So, what's up
thank
with you guys?
doing real good, man. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for sending me the song, which was a demo version of the song that I played. Um, and I appreciate it. From what the messages you've been sending me, you don't have the full master, you don't have the official version as of yet, but the demo is usually just a glimpse of what to expect when you hear the full master version. So, and we're definitely gonna talk about this record a little bit later in the interview. But first, what made you decide to get into music?
It was actually my kindergarten teacher. She was singing like little songs that she actually made up, um, like with us, and I asked her what she meant by, this is a song that I made. And it turned into her telling me about songwriters and actually bringing in like music from different artists that wrote their own music, and it really got to me, and it stuck with me until I was a little bit older and I guess knew how to write. Um, so then I just kind of went from there.
Were there any artists that you were a fan of? Anyone that made you get into pursuing music?
I would say at an earlier age, Alanis Morissette around her Jagged Little Pill time. That was an album that really pushed songwriting for me. I think I was like 6 at that time actually. And out of Canada, Avril Lavigne and other artists kind of like her. Fifi Dobson was a big one. She still influences me today, actually. She's really good. Love her. So those artists influenced me quite a bit.
How would you best describe your music? Do you consider yourself a pop singer, or do you think there's a little bit more to it?
Um, I feel like there's a little bit more to what I have and what I say than just um, what your average pop singer might be saying. Um, Most of the time, my writing and my music is about personal experiences that I've had. I do a lot of my own writing. Back in Your Face was my first co-write, actually, and it's been a great experience working with somebody else and writing um, those those lyrics and that song. And I would just describe me as sad. I don't really know. Um, I don't really know how else to describe myself.
You pretty much summed it up there, you know. As far as the songwriting, it's nice to know that artists like yourself, you know, does write his own music. And I don't judge people if they don't write every single song, but I guess fans that listen to it wants to feel like a song came from them. It came from their experiences or their backgrounds or what they went through or what they've been through, what they had to overcome, if you will. And you mentioned that Back in Your Face, you co-wrote the song.
Yes.
Were there any challenges co-writing the song compared to writing a song on your own? Like, were there, you know, I guess were there any not to say that there were issues, but were there any like uh any 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 thing that any interfering of the you writing a song with someone compared to just writing a song by yourself or a bet
I actually. Oh, sorry.
okay, well, better way for me to ask that question is, were there any challenges co-writing a song with someone compared to writing the song by yourself? That's what I was attempting to ask.
All right. Uh, I actually was very fortunate. I got into touch with somebody named Angelo Dodero, who I think is still listening right now. He's the VP of Zed Records, and they're a really great production company, actually, that works with indie artists like myself in Canada and some actually from the States. And the whole experience, I worked with the president of Zed Records, Mark Zubek, on this song. We co-wrote and he produced the song. And most of the instruments that you hear, usually I would play the guitar and everything on the song, but I really wanted to focus on singing. And at Zed Records, they're very authentic. And they allowed me to be myself and be authentic with what I was writing and what I wanted to say. And they provided for me something that I may have been lacking in their productions where I had done all the writing myself. It was a very cohesive environment to write in. So I was very fortunate to meet these people and hope to continue to work with them in the future on the rest of my EP.
That's great to hear, especially that you and the collaborators were on the same page, because I guess sometimes people may feel one thing and then the other's going to feel something different, and the chemistry may not necessarily mesh, if you will, but apparently things worked out and the song turned out very good. um,
Well, thank you.
and
Thanks.
I did play the demo version a little bit earlier, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know when does the official version of this record will be released.
The official version of the song, I'm planning on having it out by March 3rd. It should be up on iTunes and Google Play and most of your major online stores. I don't really know the names of all of them right now. But yeah, it'll be available March 3rd everywhere in the world. So wherever they're listening, it will be available.
And will there be a music video for this record?
I was actually walking home tonight, and I have weird daydreams and things that happen for me whenever I really connect with something. And I was just listening to the demo version of the song again, just to kind of refresh myself and get ready for the interview, actually. And I was actually picturing everything that was happening in a music video. I'm not sure when that will happen, but hopefully really soon.
All right, so you heard it. The official version of Back in Your Face will be available on March the 3rd. Make sure you all keep a close eye on that. And I hope that if you were listening to the show earlier, you were able to listen to the demo version just to get a good understanding of what the full length version is going to sound like. Let's talk about this EP. And that being said, talk about working on this record. How did you feel about it? How many songs that you recorded for this EP, and how many will end up making the cut? Buddy, how many songs do you plan to have making the cut?
It's still a work in progress. I've still only recorded one or two of the songs that are going to be on the EP. There will be 5, possibly 6 songs on it, and I have about 8 written and ready to go. So, yeah.
Do you know what the name of this EP going to be?
I have it tattooed on my right forearm. It is called Epic, and it's been something that I've been working at for about 2 years now, and it seems like a really long time, but it's been like a whole journey of like finding exactly the right moment and exactly the right things to say, because I really want to make an impact with what I have to say with this EP. So I'm taking my time on it, and I hope to have it finished hopefully by sometime this year.
All right, so you heard it here first. The name of the EP is called Epic from Thad Jackson. And of course, Back in Your Face will be on there. And there's no word on an official date right now, but you can check out his social media sites for all the details. Keep y'all posted on that. You being for Canada, you know, there's been a plethora of Canadians that has had success with the likes of Avril Lavigne, Fifi Dobson. You had Avril Lavigne. I just made her twice. You also had Drake. You have Justin Bieber. You have uh, just to name a few. At least those on the top of my head. You being a fellow born Canadian, or like, how does that make you feel to see these artists from your home country and all to have some success, not just in their country but here in America, seeing them on top of the charts and just showing that, hey, us people up north, we got some heavy hitters too.
Yeah, there are some really really amazing artists out of Canada. It makes me feel like it's possible for me to keep working at what I do, and maybe one day, the right person will hear what I do and really like it and connect with it the way that my listeners do.
So at the moment, are you or do you consider yourself an independent artist or an unsigned artist? Like, what's your status in that regard?
I would consider myself independent status.
And that's a lot refreshing, for independent artists. They get to do the music the way they want to do. They get to put out the music the way that they want, compared to a recorded signing artist, signed to a label. Um, do you feel like, how do you feel about the fact that you have artists out there and they have, you would like to think that they have control of how they want their music to sound or whatever, and then you have too many voices come in the way. You have the A&Rs, you got label liquor execs, etc. Uh, like, do you think that may be a reason why you feel more comfortable being an independent artist more than a record recording artist?
At this point in my life, yes. Um, I feel like a lot of artists do have a little bit more control um, when they're signed to a label, but I know that they don't have complete control. And I'm kind of a control freak, so I like, having kind of the final say over, um, what something is really at this point.
I've always felt like you're an artist, regardless if you are an independent artist or a major label artist. You sign to a label, you should have full control on how you want to put up your music. Now, if you want, now if your boss want to have some input to it, that's fine. But let limit the input and let these artists put the music out the way they should. You sign these artists for a reason, and it's just a matter of trusting them to put out the music the way they should. Do you think that there may be a trust issue, or do you think there's a little bit more to it?
I feel like maybe it might just be a trust issue. I don't think there's any kind of I don't think there's any kind of skullduggery really going around in the music industry. I just kind of feel like um, a lot of people invest a lot of money into it and they take it very seriously. And from the label perspective, I feel like they're more of the business aspect of what an artist is and what they do. And I feel like they have all this data to go on from years and years and years of artists, releasing music and how people respond to it. And I think they feel like sometimes they want to stick to a cookie cutter thing. But I feel like a lot of artists nowadays are, especially with social media, they're able to convey the messages that they want to and they're able to kind of share the message that they want to share, even if the music is, more controlled, because that's what they're really selling and what people are investing in. I still feel like there are more opportunities that an artist can be honest with people who are listening and paying attention to them.
That is completely understandable. And I totally understand where you're coming from an artist perspective. So that, what would your dream collaboration be? It could be with any artist currently, major label, indie, dead or alive. If you could have that dream collaboration, who would you want to work with for this song?
I'm going to tell you that I have another song called Adam Levine Daydream. I think Adam Levine is the coolest person. Adam Levine of Maroon 5 would be the coolest person to collaborate with. I just feel like he's a super chill guy. And yeah, I would love to collaborate with him one day. Or maybe Prince. Prince would be another one.
You got your some Prince, you got your Avril Lavigne, and you have some Maroon 5. And that Maroon 5 fellow, Adam Levine, he still works for a show called The Voice, and it kind of makes me want to ask if that's something that you have looked into, want to do, compete, trying to audition for the show, either that or the American Idol by any chance?
I don't know if I actually can, because it's something that happens in the U.S. and I'm a Canadian citizen. And I'm not really sure that like a reality show, as much as I respect all of the artists and the singers and the performers that are on those shows, I feel like that would be a situation that I wouldn't want to get into, because there's a lot of pressure connected to like every week having to like really deliver, and people voting for you at some point. And like I like the connection of first they hear them without seeing them. I like that because it allows for an artist that may not conventionally be what society would call pretty to be heard for what they really are. But I wouldn't want to personally be on that show, just because that would be way too stressful for somebody like me.
Now, the American Idol thing, I can understand, because I guess you have to be American to at least sign to audition for the show in the first place.
Mhm.
The Voice, like you said, the judges' backs are turned. They don't hear the voice unless they press that button, and all it takes is
Yeah.
one. So, but hey, you choose to follow a different path, and I respect you for it. Um, that being said, why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, let people know where they can learn more of your work. Go ahead and promote your Twitter, your Facebook, or any other links people need to know.
All right. Well, my Twitter is at the real Thad J. So it's the real THADJ. My SoundCloud, where you can hear a couple of my other demos, is soundcloud.com/thadmusic. And my Facebook, I think I have a Facebook fan page. I don't use it very often, but I'm going to be in the future. It's facebook.com/therealthad. And Instagram, the same as my Twitter, the real Thad J. So, yeah, those are my profiles.
So to recap here, you got the song "Back in Your Face." The official version will be available on March the 3rd. The EP called Epic, that's going to be coming out sometime in 2015. And I want to thank you, sir, for being on the show. I truly appreciate it. Continued success moving forward. And again, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
All right, you have a good night and have a great weekend, man.
And you too.
All right, bye-bye.